Take It Up with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Melissa Alonso, who is the Director of Account-Based Marketing at Click. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm here to get some best practices from you because, account-based ABM marketing has been the talk of town in the marketing industry. And you're doing it at the enterprise level for Click. Click, for those who don't know, is a large company that provides business intelligence, the BI space. But I'll let Melissa dive into a little bit about what does Click do, and then how does she do that ABM marketing?
Absolutely. So the account-based marketing team at Click, so Click is a full end-to-end platform. So not only do we help our customers prepare the data to be analyzed, but we do a little bit more than visualization. We do a really thorough, in-depth operation that allows us to really connect all of the data together, bring a lot of different sources into one, and really make those connections that people haven't seen in the past. So because our tool and our platform can be used across any industry, it can be used in any line of business, it's an amazing opportunity for Click, but it's also hard to really translate the opportunity to those business users who might not be focused on the technical aspect. So what our job in the account-based marketing team is to really kind of help people to see it in their own language, like we used to say, as we like to say, is that it enables you to say, for finance, how can we show you a specific example that will be useful to you that we've done at Click? So we really are able to customize the content and personalize it so that people are able to see the value in using the Click platform.
Okay, so you're in charge of attracting those potential users and really giving them the right content to make decisions about the next step in the funnel of getting qualified prospects through for sales.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of our, so we have a specific list of 300 accounts that we focus on. Half of them get ABM personalized from our marketing team. The other half we use kind of always on campaigns. So our job is to really expand those opportunities within those large enterprise accounts. So we're taking our existing relationship and we're creating a sense of awareness and engagement and really getting people to start adopting Click within the company, and then find out that there's new departments that would like to see the value, and then we kind of get started there. So the opportunity is to really work with our key champions, if we have them within the accounts, to develop these campaigns, whether that they be digital or events or webinars or what we call champagne days, where we do the speaking your own language about HR to HR or finance to finance, and enabling them to see where else that we can be used within the account.
So you're targeting different personas in these 300 accounts. What have you tried that has worked well and what have not worked well?
So what has worked well for us is personalizing and customizing. So I think that in this day and age, you do want to see something that's particular for you. So I think even if, we talk about the Netflix example, like everything is still based on what your interests are, and we have to do the same thing. So a priority for our team is finding the right tools to make these customized and personalized campaigns scalable. So we only have, now we have 7 people globally. So we have a lot of work to do, and we need to think smart about how we approach them. So what we've done is pick tools and vendors that enable us to kind of create once, scale out to many. And we've done that with IP remarketing. We've done that with customized industry ads through digital marketing. We then have done that through specific line of business campaigns. And now we're kind of funneling in our next step to specific landing pages that customize with the account name and industry and specific content that the customer is looking to see. So for example, if we're trying to break into the supply chain, we want to present supply chain content on that landing page when they arrive so that we're kind of directing them where they need to be.
How deeply personalized are you able to get information? Like, where do you get that kind of information? Is that from their Facebook activities? Like, how deep and personal do you actually get?
So I think that it's when you're thinking about these larger accounts, personalized is not what you searched for yesterday. It's kind of more about where you are in your position and also what the account and the industry that they're focused in. So if you're going to work on a financial services company, we don't want to send them healthcare information. Like that's just not going to connect for them. So it's more about industry, persona, and then from there, I think it's just those small tweaks and delivering that content that it's an example of another financial services company that have used it in marketing. And you kind of go, oh, okay, well, I didn't think about that. But if I deliver them the healthcare example, they're going to be like, this doesn't relate to me, and just kind of click away. So I think you have a very short opportunity to deliver your key value props in that moment. And if you miss that by sending them to a landing page that's just general, it's an opportunity missed for sure.
Okay. So you're able to now get even more personalized by creating a landing page. Is that for each account or each person within that account?
It is for each account. So we have not personalized by person. And I don't know if that would be worth the while. I mean, maybe it is. I think that it all depends on obviously your back end data. Do you have like, how many times have you gotten an email that says like, dear Bob? And I'm like, not Bob, sorry to tell you. So I think that there's a level of personalization that if you have everything prepared, but while we're looking at more top of the funnel and new leads, we can't guarantee that we have everyone's name correct. So we do more of the account names. We do pull that in with the account logo, which I think gives you that feeling that we've been working together. So you know that Click and MetLife have been working together for 10 years, and you're seeing that in our first kind of blurb that we're putting up there, but you don't need to say, hi, Jessica, how are you? Welcome to the page. So I think you still get the understanding and that comfort level without having to be too personalized, because I don't even know how you scale something like that.
So talk to us about the numbers here. How many touches, what type of touches does it take to have someone who's just becoming aware to actually learning enough to go to the sales team for further qualification?
Sure. So I think that the follow-up for our inside sales team, and this is, again, it's a work in progress. So we actually just had a new team that was developed at the end of last year that's going to be working specifically on lead routing, lead follow-up, and we're hoping to have our strategic account marketing team shaped a little bit differently. Obviously, our team is doing different work than we are for the rest of the company. So these are really high-touch, high-engaged individuals. We want to make sure that the inside sales, the BDR and the salesperson and the CSM and our sales engineer, everybody's on the same page. And I think that we typically have done about 3 phone calls, 4 emails to do that follow-up. But sometimes it needs to be shaped even differently than that. So sometimes we can say, we don't want to tag them for follow-up or FIR, and we want to enable them to go to a webinar or this personalized landing page where we can then gauge ungated activity. So we can put all of these assets available, see where people are clicking, see where they're going through, and allowing them that opportunity to continue to learn before we hit them with 7 different touches of following up. So I think that you have to be a little bit more flexible, and it is consistency though. And that's something that I learned in working with the IP remarketing program in the last few years, is that as marketers, all we want to do is get someone's name, their email, get them in the system and check that box, like, look what we did. And I think that times are very different now, and we have to allow people to learn at their own pace and realize that the education portion comes before really finalizing who's a lead and who's coming into the system. So you have to release a little bit of control, have a little bit of faith that they will come back if it's the right person, but we're getting much higher quality leads that we're passing along to our sales team. So I think that that's kind of the key part of understanding the process.
Yes, I agree with you that learning is so critical now. I find that enterprise buyers have a lot more power in the dynamics of searching for solutions. And a lot of times they don't want to talk to sales. They want to learn on the website or through other third-party credible sources about the product. But marketing
And
is responsible for creating a lot of that content for the learning interaction online. So,
correct.
um,
And also not gating it. So I think that that's where I always wanted just sign in, just give me your email, and it's no big deal. But some people aren't ready to do that. And I think that if you allow them the opportunity to look and to really explore where they're interested, there's enough tools out there that you can really see. I mean, we've used Path Factory in the past, we've used follows pages now. You can see what people are looking at. So you can gauge the interest. You can tweak your messaging based on what they're looking at, but they still haven't had to fully commit to becoming a lead in your system. So when they do come back, you then can circle all of that together and you can see, all right, well, before you were really officially a lead, you had all of this interest. This is where you converted into a lead, and then this is the following path. So I think that you really have to allow them that opportunity and ungate the content, some of it, before you really ask for that information.
yeah, and the content has to be in different formats for people who want to just listen to a podcast, read a
Mm-hmm.
documentary. Others love to watch videos to learn. And so, yes, you have to provide a different format for their preference. And then the content has to be in small bite size. So it's easy to consume.
100%.
Yeah. No longer do we want to read long white papers.
You don't want a 30-page white paper? I know it is, that's kind of our main, for me, my main focus in this year, to figure out the best way to communicate with our customers. So we have, again, I have a lot of financial services customers, there's retail, it's across the board. And how are people wanting to receive the information? And I think in account-based marketing, it's an amazing opportunity to work with the champions to figure that out, because we have an inside source. So can you not click on a YouTube link? Okay, well, that's important to know if you're blocked from doing that, so you can't insert a YouTube link to link out to something. Or is something else not available? Do people prefer to have the content hosted internally on your Confluence or your SharePoint page? Like, do we need to work through the customer that way? And I think a lot of those learnings enable you to say, okay, well, video is going to be the way to go for this group, or we need to create a slide deck that's going to be great for these people to read here. And I think that that's really where you really have to customize per account and really listen to what the customer's needs are to make it effective. And I think that's one of the best things about doing account-based marketing, is because we work directly with the customers. Like, we're merging what they need and what we do, and we're creating this custom engagement plan that is going to fit their needs. So I think that it's a way to kind of do a marketing technique without being too salesy, and really kind of impacting the business in a really educational and useful way.
Now that we're no longer doing these small gatherings or events, happy hour learning, lunchtime and all that, have you shifted the mix for the ABM program, taking away the funding for events and shifting it to a lot more like webinar or any other activities?
Yes. So the whole plan that was there is now not the plan. So I think obviously we have to be cognizant of what's going on in the world, and we're not able to host our events. And some of our most successful events are full click days, is what we call them. They're in account days. We go to the customer site, we host from 50 people to 500. So that's not going to happen. And we've actually been really kind of ahead of the curve of working with our teams to say, what can we do to make this work? And you also have to think about timing wise. So nobody wants to sit in an 8-hour WebEx. Nobody. And how do you like you said, make it short and consumable? How do we enable them to have like a personalized interaction, but in a shorter time frame? So our team has developed, we call them like a click week. So it's basically a passport to learning is the program. And it's kind of learn wherever you're going, and enables you to have almost a full week of hour-long sessions of, here's key information from our product team. Here's great information from AI and analytics. So it's kind of like we pick and choose, and it's all also based on what the customer requests. So say we want to do a roadmap, and then we want to align with the customer and have their team give their roadmap so we can show how we're working together. That's been probably the most effective shift that we've done in the last few weeks, to show our customers that we're nimble, we're agile, we're able to help you. And we couldn't do this, so we're going to do it a different way. We're still delivering the same content. We're still delivering interactive content because we don't want it to be boring. And I think that that's going to make a huge difference. For the executives, we've actually had a couple new concepts of more of a virtual happy hour and virtual meetings, which I think are all the rage now because this is what we have to do to see our friends and have a conversation. But I think it takes it outside of just a meeting and a meeting on video. So it's kind of like, let people relax, get that same type of feeling as you would if you were at an event and having a cocktail. So those are a couple of the tweaks that we've made in the last few weeks, and the customers are responding really well to them.
Yes, you can still make it fun even though it's virtual.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this has been a very good conversations about some of the best practices in account-based marketing. Like you were saying, provide very personalized content. And there's a lot more technology that you can personalize and monitor and detect the return on investment or the interest level. So appreciate you having a call with us to talk about that. What's exciting ahead for you then? After this challenging phase is over, what are you looking forward to doing?
I think for me, it's to really continue to learn the new communication tactics. So video is not something that I am as familiar with or comfortable with using. So I think that how do we weave that in to make it kind of a cool, interesting way to communicate and hit a new market and to deliver those snippets and those pieces of information outside of a 30-page document that no one wants to read.
Yeah, I'm all for video. I think it's a very appealing format for many people. So
it is.
Yes, let's talk about that later. But I want to touch base on career advancement, because I know that you went through this program in which it really helped to accelerate your career growth into the director position. Can you talk to us about what that journey was like? What did you learn, and what would you like to share with those out there?
Absolutely. So I am a big fan of kind of the next step, and I like goals. I like to kind of make sure I have what am I ready to achieve? What do I need to get there, and to check the box. So I've been asking for around our company for a specific group that had career potential advancement. How do I improve myself? Really like look within to see how I can move forward. And Women Unlimited was recommended to me by actually our VP of marketing, who had gone through it herself and had a few other people on her team who had done it as well. And this was it was a commitment. It was 1 day a month for an entire year. So it was really the biggest benefit to it was being able to step out of work. And I think that's my biggest suggestion, is that we're all running a million miles an hour. We have so many things to do. The to-do list is many pages long. But to have the opportunity and allowing yourself to stop, look at what you're doing in the big picture, kind of gauging your interests, your strengths, your weaknesses, and what you want to do moving forward, so that you can still move fast, you can still check the box, but make sure that there's an hour in that week to check the box towards what you want to achieve in the long term, so you're not just kind of being dragged along. So one of the biggest things that I got from it was the power of networking, and also the power of mentors. So I had previously not really invested a lot of time in mentors or networking, and I met an amazing group of women. They are always have your back. They gave amazing feedback, and they're really professional, successful individuals that I hopefully will be one day. And they opened my eyes to kind of using our network to find the next step. And they also helped to coach me through using my mentors within Click. So I then at that point, I've had 4 different mentors. I mean, from all different types of lines of business. I mean, I had the chief legal officer who was my mentor, who was obviously not in marketing, but she's an amazing, successful woman who leads all of legal for Click. So that's a person that I want to pick her brain. And I think it gives you a perspective outside of what you're doing. So I feel like a lot of times you're here. It's what I'm doing. And then to hear from a completely different perspective, this is how they see our team. This is how they see what we're doing. And to also increase your business knowledge or acumen overall, I think is a really helpful skill. So definitely use all your mentors, definitely network, and take time to like decompress and think about what you're doing would be the main things I learned.
Yes, and maybe signing up for a formal program, a career coaching program. That sounds great.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Melissa. It's been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, I think that this is a great opportunity. I'm really appreciative of you having a conversation with me and allowing me to be on your show. So thank you.
There you have it, folks. Take it up with Jessica Lee, Melissa Alonso from Click.